New Jersey, lane 1, lane 2, Concord, lane 3, Camp Randall, lane 4, Canisius, lane 5, Chicago, and lane 6, St. Joseph's Prep. Camp Randall has had some gutsy racing over this regatta. David, what do you think we can expect to see?
We have seen that, and they've had kind of somewhat varying race plans, but oftentimes we're seeing Camp Randall come out with a lot of speed at the beginning of each race. These pairs races, again, very touchy boats. You have to be careful not to make mistakes, particularly off the start line. You've got to make sure that you're clean, that you keep your boat straight, and that you get it up to speed. And oftentimes we see the pairs come off maybe with a little bit less aggressiveness in terms of actual back and forth speed of the athletes, simply because they're trying to make sure that they don't lose course, they don't catch a digger or catch a crab, which can be very disastrous in a pair. But also, there's been a lot of pairs rowing in general, especially with a lot of the larger programs that have a bunch of pairs that they can put on the water, simply because of the pandemic that we've just gone through. So I expect these pairs to be very proficient with their rowing, and as they get going here, we'll see who decides to kind of push out. Again, Camp Randall and Canisius out of Buffalo are your top qualifiers coming in, but it's anybody's ball game. You just saw a silver medal out of lane 2. We saw a national championship out of lane 6. So getting yourself in an A final and then having the race of your life can mean a medal here at the 2021 US Rowing Youth National Regatta. Gorgeous overhead picture. I'm seeing a fast start out of lane 3, Camp Randall.
Camp Randall, quick off the line. We've seen gutsy starts for Camp Randall, but we've also seen some really aggressive finishes as well. So I think part of their strategy is just to row it high, to row, row with power, of course, but also to use their stroke rate to their advantage. It looks like that's exactly what they're doing as they come through the first 500 meters and the first 250 meters. So first 250 is where these athletes will really execute their starting race plan. Right about now, they'll lengthen into their base cadence. It was a good start for Camp Randall, but Prep out of lane 6 making it known that they want to have a good start as well, David, as we move to the first 250, keeping an eye on Camp Randall and St. Joseph's Prep.
Yeah, Prep still at 36 as they approach 500 meters. It's Camp Randall at a lower stroke cadence than Prep. Will that matter? We will find out. Third place appears to be the boat from Canisius, and Canisius just slightly ahead of lane 2. That's Concord. As they come through the 500 meters, we'll see the split times. You can see the light blue jerseys of Camp Randall out in front, and then coming through it is Prep about a second behind Camp Randall, and then you see Canisius, Concord, and Row, New Jersey just ahead of the boat, I think, from Chicago. But everyone is still in the mix, and Colleen, you and I got the privilege of announcing the 2017 World Championships here on this race course. And these pairs races are extremely exciting. We saw Italy in the men's pair. If you go back and watch that final, it's probably one of the best races I've ever seen come from third place to win the gold medal in that pairs race in the last 500 meters. So yet again, with these small boats, you can really change speeds pretty quickly. As Camp Randall moves out with open water, look at how close this racing is. It's even more bunched up and closer than it was at 500.
Yeah, and I think Canisius just heard your story about the Italians, because if you take a look at lane 4, they're coming from third and doing whatever they possibly can in the second quarter to push themselves, not just in that bronze position, but to hopefully a silver, maybe even a gold. Camp Randall, though, still holds on to it. They'll have some work to do to pass St. Joseph's Prep, if that's what they're looking to do. But keeping an eye, you can see just how tight it is, and that was a really nice move out of lane 4 Canisius to now pull almost level, if not just with a slight advantage over St. Joseph's Prep. But we'll get times as they come through the 1,000. Looks like it's just ever so close for those positions.
So it's two athletes. They each have one oar, and that's the pair. So it's the men's pair here, the A final at the 2021 US Rowing Youth National Regatta from Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida. You've got open water right now for lane 3, Camp Randall, trying to go start to finish. You see Camp Randall first to the 1,000 meter checkpoint. And here comes Canisius. Canisius is going to be second, just ahead of Prep. And then you've got dead level Concord and Row, New Jersey, just then slightly ahead of Chicago. But with this overhead shot, you can see just how close all of the boats are as we start to see more speed possibly out of Canisius. Maybe they're starting to close the gap just a little bit on that boat from Camp Randall. And going with them is that boat right in the picture closest to the camera. That is the boat from St. Joe's Prep. You saw maybe just a little bobble there on one stroke. Didn't really seem to even affect the boat speed. But here comes lanes 1 and 2. You see them up there. They're really charging into the picture. Lane 1 is Row, New Jersey. Lane 2 is Concord. Here they come.
And look at Canisius moving and continuing to move. A nice second 500-meter stretch. They carry that momentum into the third 500. Canisius continuing to open up the gap, but St. Joseph's Prep not letting them out of their sight. And then that's absolutely great. Row, New Jersey on the far side, bringing it into the mix as well. So Row, New Jersey with 750 meters to go starts to put themselves potentially into that podium mix. Such a battle out of lanes 1 and 6. That's Prep out of lane 6. Row, New Jersey lane 1. Canisius still moving. Will all of these sort of sub battles be able to threaten Camp Randall? We will find out.
Camp Randall still with a little bit of open. I love that shot from the side. I mean, I like this shot too, but from the side we saw it looks like the bowman in that far boat is the one that sort of is letting the stroke man know what to do in that Row, New Jersey pair, because he's the one that's looking over at the competitors that they're trying to get past. Particularly, you were talking about Prep, and then in the Prep boat, I'm seeing sort of both athletes just every once in a while catching a peek to their right as to what's going on in this race. Again, it's probably even getting closer. The only boat that's off the pace at all here is Chicago. Everybody else in the mix. There is open water for Camp Randall, but the rest of the medals are completely up for grabs here as they come into the last 500 meters. This is a great race here in the men's youth pair. A final is being dominated by Camp Randall, but look at what's going on behind them as Prep starts to find speed yet again in lane 6, but it's Canisius holding on to the silver medal. Are they going to be able to hold off Prep and Row, New Jersey? That's the question.
Yeah, Row, New Jersey definitely wants to be on the podium. They made that clear as they moved through the 1,000. Prep doing everything they can to put them back in that position for the bronze medal. We see Prep starting to make a move. The question, is it Row, New Jersey? Is it Prep? You can see on those outside lanes that they're just ever so close. One thing's for sure, Camp Randall, open water advantage, but the battle for silver now coming on strong. Canisius will have to look out. Prep behind Canisius right now, but Canisius being threatened. Row, New Jersey not to be left out, but Prep has another gear.
Yeah, I think Row, New Jersey might be in second place, actually. It's hard to tell with the angle. It's Canisius, it's Row, New Jersey, it's Prep. Even getting back into it with a big sprint here is Concord. It's really going to come down to the line. All we know is that Camp Randall out of Madison, Wisconsin has open water in those light blue jerseys. And here it's going to come right down to the line as Prep maybe is over in lane 7 now as they finish up their piece here. Who's going to take that silver medal and who's going to take the bronze medal? What a battle. Concord right in the mix. It's going to come down to the cameras for those medals behind your new national champion in the men's pair. It is Camp Randall. And wow, to my eye, I can't even tell. Maybe it is Row, New Jersey with the silver medal out of lane 1 with a just amazing sprint in the last 500 meters as we see the unofficial times coming through on the screen. I got to wait for them because I don't even know who is in the medals. Concord with a crazy last 500. Looks like they may be in that bronze medal position about 0.2 of a second ahead of Canisius, who is sitting in second place coming into 500 to go.